Oh my God, it's Wednesday. We're like 40 days into this quarantine, right?
Yes.
Shelter in place. I feel like I'm on the ark, or I feel like how people must have felt on the ark. I'm like, oh my God. I feel like I'm on Gilligan's Island. I'm ready to get off. How are you, girl?
Good. As social as I thought I was, I'm actually finding out that I like being home, and I'm not like running out of things to do because there's enough work to do. And
Yes.
there's enough
Yes.
things to do. I mean, like, you're almost as social as you are not here, except you're not with people. The only thing I miss, and we talked about this, is going out for happy hour. I like having happy hour with people, but it's nice
or
to go
any
somewhere.
event, like any event.
Uh-oh. I'm hearing you delayed, Babz.
Yeah, it is. But I will say, I do this life, this computer digital life. I like, of course I like the time home. I also just miss interaction with people. So it's nice having my son and daughter here because that gives me people.
And then I do miss social events, like, you know, and of course, arts and culture.
Yeah, I miss
the
that a whole lot.
Oh my gosh.
I miss the theater. I miss live music. I miss y'all hanging out.
I know.
I miss eating out. I really miss eating out. I love eating out. I don't apologize for that. I'm hot. It's warm. So yeah. So the Lit Fest has been moved.
The Lit Fest was moved to September 26th and 27th. It would have been Saturday. I would have been in like mode of up and running. I had a great team that was they're still helping me. Charmaine McAllister, the wonderful, fabulous Sha, and Emily Mayo. So and then even with September, with postponing it till September, looking at how this could happen maybe virtually. Because, you know, people are saying the latest is like the states are going to open up. Open up to what though?
Yeah.
And how is it going to be? Because the virus doesn't go away. They don't have a cure for it. It ain't going to be no time soon. So interactions are going to have to be different. So I have been looking at models of ways that other people have been doing stuff. I've been attending other literary events. And I had got a couple of dollars in place to pay my writers, like feature writers. So I'm still navigating how that could be. I would love for the festival to still happen the 26th and 27th. Initially, it was going to be one day, and momentum had built up so much. We have so many local writers. I had about 44 writers registered, and that was just from Greater New Haven and Connecticut. Yeah, and more people. Everybody was like, "Oh, you know, so and so wrote a book. So and so wrote a book." And I found a lot of people that had written their books. Were promoting them outside of the state or outside of the New Haven area, which is sad. And then I had also partnered with the Hartford Lit Fest, which was wonderful. They had their first one last year, and they were gearing up for their second one in May. So so there was a whole nother group of literary artists from there. So yeah, Lit Fest is still on and popping. It's one of the celebrations we didn't have.
I mean, I think, you know, this is a time. I'm going to change to my phone because I'm getting a word that I'm in and out. So I'm going to move this conversation to my phone.
Okay.
And I'm gonna jump off. This is a little challenging, all this technology.
The combinations of
Let's
things.
see here. I know.
But anyway, to fill up the airtime, I came up with the idea for the Lit Fest because we have a lot of celebrations of things, and especially New Haven. We have a lot of cultural celebrations, and I felt like literary artists need to be a focus of a celebration. And I love arts and culture. As you know, I'm wearing Zora today. Feeling Zora. So we got you better now?
Yes. Is that better? Do you hear me better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I love that you're wearing Zora because those earrings came from People Get Ready bookstore.
Our good friends. Our good friends. Can you hear me?
And yes, I can hear you well. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. And Harry, you hear me? Harry somewhere.
Yeah, everything sounds good.
We
Thank you, Harry.
Hi, Harry. So, all right. So this gives you opportunity to be much more creative about, and everybody has to be more creative about how they host events. This is the next level of where we are now. I think whatever we create now will be with us and will be in addition to us coming back into spaces with people. But I think these kinds of virtual connections are here to stay. We're not going to ever go back fully without.
And it's also giving people. I'm sorry. It's also giving people opportunity to expand their creativity, right? And reach a broader audience. And not have to travel, because now like I feel for the travel industry, because a lot of people are probably, companies and places are rethinking who has to travel, and do you really have to travel to have a meeting or like we ain't got to fly you to California now,
right, yes. And I think this technology is only going to get more sophisticated. Skype was like the only game in town for a long time. Now we have this whole Zoom life, and so many other places have, like when we get together as me, you, Markeisha, Benita, and Michelle, we're on Facebook Messenger, which works, right? Like we get on there and have fun and play.
I've been in other ones. I've been in WebEx. I've been in Blue Jeans. There's several platforms.
I've been in Blue Jeans. We use Blue Jeans for in Planned Parenthood. So that was my first use of them. That's what we use over there. So it's amazing how many different little platforms there are for people to do this.
Yeah, because apparently bombs been happening in Zoom, unfortunately. But anyway.
Yes, well, now that everybody's got to use a password to get in now, right? So that's the only thing, where there's, people are crazy and they, we just can't have nice things.
No.
So how have you been feeling your time? Because I know as an artist, as a curator of art, you fill your time rather well with
so yes, I've been actually
staying connected to your creative side.
Right. So I've been I signed up Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I do some writing workshops at New York Writers Coalition. And listen to as many, like a lot of podcasts, because like all of a sudden, like, not that there weren't a lot of podcasts out there before. I also am taking some Spanish lessons. And I'm getting
me too.
Huh?
Yeah, me too. I'm taking 3 lessons, which I love. It's been fun. Yes, I've taken some writing workshops. I mean, there's a lot. I've been mostly checking out live productions of things, concerts and stuff like that. That's been really nice to sort of catch a few sets of things that I, particularly at the Lincoln Center. If I, I can't get to Lincoln Center every day, right? But
Mhm.
getting popping in and hearing the music is still nice. It's still nice whether I'm there or in person or there through this medium. So that's been kind
Also,
of nice,
I'm also the managing director for The Word Poets. With Aaron Jafaris is the director, and they're gearing up to do they did a workshop Friday night for young people, and they're gearing up for a lit cipher this Friday evening to
Oh, nice.
premiere. Right. So yeah, like working with wherever I can, getting some word out there. And I read I'm reconditioning or refabricating my podcast to focus on local artists. So that's soon to come too. I've started working on that this week on the wine.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
So are you changing the name too? Or are you going to keep it as what it is?
I like Wine Time, but it's okay. But it's going to be, I think I'm going to change the name and do something literary. I don't know yet, but I'll just have readings, and I want to feature again local artists in all African American literature.
Oh, I like that. Is anybody doing that? Nobody's doing that, right?
There's a lot of readings going on, but I don't know if it's just focused on African American literature. I'm looking, but I saw a couple of ways to do it, and I have, like, I'm trying to decide what this, because I did get funding for the Lit Fest. So do I save it for that, or do I want to pay some artists to actually read from their books or have book discussions? So I'm working with my own technology in my house to figure out how I can facilitate, like, people paying or I can get people paid, but to have like a couple of artists on and everybody come on and listen and host it.
Oh, that's nice. I mean, yeah, I think Zoom is a wonderful, these kinds of mediums are good for that. People can come in and we could all be together without being together to hear some good poetry. That would be really nice.
Yeah.
And local, like a little lit cafe, poet cafe.
Exactly.
I kind of did that. I like that. So, I mean, of course I'll miss Wine Time with the grown ass woman, but
he hasn't posted my stuff yet. I've been on him like, what's up? What's up with that? We did quite a few too.
Oh, anyway. Okay. Well, everybody's under the gun. Everybody's everybody's trying to pivot and shift through these coronavirus times,
And I've been reading, like listening to books and reading. Right now I'm in a book club with the with Medgar Evers College. They usually have their writers conference in March that had to be canceled, the National Black Writers Conference. Well, they have a book club and they're reading Edward Dendicat, Creating Dangerously.
How is it? I love the title.
It is so, I like Edward Dendicat, anything. She could write a sentence. No.
No, you're right. No. I remember her first work. So I remember when she jumped on the scene. So I feel like I've grown up with her, right? I feel like from the very beginning. So what's her book about?
So this book is about Caribbean writers in America, being a Caribbean writer in America. Like the cultural differences. It's really nice. So, and I just started it. So I got like through the first chapter so far, but that's what I'm doing my evenings, because it's just so much TV. It's just so, Like I finished Queen Sona, and then looking for other things to watch. I'm just like, and I don't know about Black as F. I'm have a question mark about that. So I'm like, I can't I can't watch it on TV. I don't know what. But I'm not bored.
I watched a few episodes of Black AF, and I was like, I don't hate it, and I do like it on some level. Like it's very different. I think that's what it is. It's very different, and I think what it is, it messes with our sensibilities about how people. When you grew up a certain way, your kids wouldn't act that way, but this is a new day and kids act that way. Do you know what I mean? So
yep.
I see some of my kids in that, not to that level of disrespect. Hell no. But I could see it's a different day. And I could see how that could get on people's nerves.
It lends to pause.
But there's something about them that I like. I don't know what it is yet. I was like, I kind of dig them a little bit, and they're quirky. I think we're just not used to quirky Black people like that. We're used to seeing white people in those kinds of roles. And so to see us in those kind of roles, it kind of messes with us a bit. But I might watch it a little bit more of it and see where it goes. But I'm with you. I think I have to step up my reading game because I have a ton of books. So reading has to be paramount now.
And so I want to get my mojo back because I want to write. I got as you, Babz, I got like a script, a play. I have a play I have that I need to work on. And I have 2 novels that they're not finished, and I have a bunch of short stories. I got to put all these things together in order to get my mojo back. I need to be in the literary realm again.
Yeah,
totally consumed in it to get through it. And speaking of the play, I'm doing a monologue for Sharice Selim's Vintage Soul Productions Next Round. Those have been very good. Have you seen them?
No, I haven't. And I'm such a fangirl of her. I think she's so creative and talented. And I don't know why. I think my timing, because I keep missing them. I don't know why I'm missing them, but I think I could go back and see them
on YouTube, on her Vintage Soul Productions YouTube channel. You can
That's
see
what I'm gonna do.
And she's using local artists. She's using local writers, local artists. The young lady that was the house manager at Long Wharf. Oh my gosh, she did a wonderful monologue, and she writes and she acts in one. So in several people, Michael Twitty's in one that is so funny, written by Steve Driffin. I mean, it's a realm. So we have there's things to do and get done. Like if you're a creative, like and the creatives are thinking out of the box.
Yes.
And the Arts Council funding is helping.
I think this is a good time to be an artist, which I always think it's always a good time to be an artist, because I always believe that artists tell us the truth about our situations. And so I always look to artists to see what they're talking about and what they're saying about what is happening. And so this is a good time. And I'm really glad to see that people are finally supporting artists, not to the level that they deserve, because they deserve a lot more, but at least there is a whole lot of awareness about supporting artists in their craft. I really like that. So
yeah. And I've been keeping up with Tabisa and her concerts that she posts.
She really is superstar talented.
She really is. She really is.
And she's very intellectually astute too. When I have these deep conversations with her, and her take on the world is really just right on. And so and I love watching her. I try to catch her when she's trying out new songs and working on new songs. I watched her Idol South Africa performance. She looked like she was 12.
She looks so young.
I was like, girl, how old were you? I was like, wow,
Yeah. So I've been appreciating this time to just like get back into the creativity and working at my own pace and meditation and exercise classes. I be in the exercise. So whenever I can fit in an exercise class too.
Yes.
A couple of times a week, not maybe every day, because sometimes I just do yoga. And I'm really glad to say that One Village Healing they now have their classes online.
Yes.
So, I mean, we have so much here in this city. Like I've spent many years leaving New Haven, as you know, living in New York, on and off, and a little bit of time in DC for a minute, but and coming back and seeing this surgence of the creativity and the artistry of people, and I have a better appreciation for it, and I'm so glad to have come back at a time when all this is happening. So, I felt like even in creating the Elm City Lit Fest, to create an atmosphere like Madam C.J. Walker did with the Black Tower, to have that and unapologetically focus on Black arts, on Black artists and artistry and Black creativity, because everybody can come. It's not being against anybody else's thing, because I love everything else. I love everybody else's culture, but I want to really focus. I love African American and African diaspora arts and culture. And that's where I want to focus on.
And I think it's timely for that now, right? Because there's still people who know very little about Black culture, and even less about diaspora culture, culture that comes out of the diaspora. And when people discover it, they're like, wow.
It's not frightening. It's not like threatening or anything to say that I know about my culture, which I think that happens a lot. Like whenever somebody is like, when you come as your authentic self in anything, head rap or whatever, everybody's like, don't get so, like those barriers are breaking down maybe.
Yes. Yes, people are becoming more comfortable in that. And, I think we saw a lot of that in the late 60s, early 70s, that people were all about it, Black power, that kind of thing. Black is beautiful. And I feel like we are moving back into that thought.
Yeah.
I think we are moving back into that thought, and unapologetically, people are, there's room for all kinds of Blackness. There's just not one way to define Blackness. There's a whole lot of definitions out there, and people are putting their own definitions out there and being well received about it. I mean, and some are not, but who cares? Right. I think it's time for people to sort of come out their bag and just do what is in their heart and spirit to do.
Yes, and we should learn more about our culture and embrace it, so that we can share it with people. Like, there's commonalities in people's culture as much as there are not. There are. And so let's share what we know, the knowledge of each other's culture. And maybe some of these barriers will be broken down. People stop tripping, which ain't gonna ever happen. But,
That's true. That is true. That is true.
A capitalist racist is going to be a capitalist racist, despite whatever.
Yes.
But we just have to empower ourselves. It gives us, I feel, in my personal feeling, we have to empower ourselves.
And I feel like we're doing a lot of that. I mean, I think, Ife, it's always going to be people. There's always going to be Black people we can't reach like that. Just like there's going to be white folks that we can't reach like that. I mean, that's just how it falls out sometimes. Yeah. But I love that people are very comfortable. And I love seeing that it's a lot of young people coming into their own around their artistry and their
Oh,
history and their culture.
amen to that, because it's heartwarming to see that a generation is not going to let that be lost, and that's legacy right there. That's why I love working with these young women. Love Charmaine and her big afro in the symphony.
Oh God, I you know what? When she walks into a room, the room is hers with that hair. I just, you know, and just her I'm not gonna take no mess attitude. And it's not an aggressive attitude. It's a self-assuredness. Do you know what I
Yes,
mean? Like she is very self-assured.
she is. And
And when
there are
she walks
other,
into it, yes.
there's so many there are other young women that just represent culture so well within the arts, like that Azaria and those young women that work, all those young women that work at Long Wharf now, or
Yes.
working at Long Wharf. Uh, they're all different, but bring things to the table, and so proud of you. Like it's such a good time to be around here and see these young folks taking the reins. You know, like Trinae McGee, who's an artist. She worked at Long Wharf and then became a council member in West Haven. It's like, whoa, what? Wow.
Yes.
Unapologetically themselves.
I love it. And they come with their own sense of you know, their own sense of working on social justice issues, their own self of how they want to be in the world. And they're just bold. I love it. You know, I don't see fear in them. They jump out there, they take on something, they just do it. And I come from that. Listen, whatever you want to do, just go do it. You know, I grew up hearing that message. There's nothing you
Right.
can't do. Right? Like I don't
Right.
understand how people are stopped by things. Because I grew up with hearing you can just do anything you want. Go if you want to do it, go do it. You know, and to see these young people embrace that further than ever I thought more than I did when I was their age. It's just amazing to see. You know, they want to live on their own terms. They don't care about opinion, and they go create.
They create and they stand up for social justice and all the issues that matter. One of the artists that was is going to be in the festival is Sun, poet
Yes.
Sun, who is like, she got a line of sweatshirts out now and other products. Like, I wish I would prepare myself better and I could like put everybody's information in the link, because you know, her work with the Black Lives Matter movement and just other things, like moving for all this social injustice stuff happening. There's so much creativity in this place right now. Like, these young people inspire me to be Ife, the name that I took on 30 years ago.
Yes.
The
Now
creativity.
you are living your name now.
I'm living my name at 60 years old.
Listen, man, that's just a number. It's just no matter. Listen, it took 60 years for you to get here. That's all that means.
That's all.
That's
So
all that means.
Enjoying the ride and trying to support. Like, I want to be in a position to support all of that. So, and it's gonna come philanthropically, or as much as I can in any way.
I feel you too, Ife. Like, there's got to be a way. And you know, we have these conversations all the time about I want to move into the philanthropic side of supporting artists. You know, I want to be able to raise money for them. And I think that's probably why I'm on art serving boards at the moment, because one, I just want to learn as much as I can on how to do it. And two, I want to be in the mix of artists. I just love that community. And if all I have to contribute is my skill sets, I'm happy. You know,
Yeah.
I'm no painter or anything, and I like to fancy myself an artist on some level. But I really want to be able to help them, you know, and to help and because I think art is, I think one is the equalizer and is the teacher. And I think that's and I think it's healing, I do. I think it's quite healing. So, and I think that's probably the only thing that's probably going to save this world are artists and their work.
Exactly. And one of the things when Aaron asked me about being managing director of the Word Poets, because it's the organization's been around like 11 or 12 years, and they've been doing work in the schools and throughout New Haven, workshops and the lit ciphers with young people. And I was like, he had some of the artists in administrative spaces. And I was like, artists need to do their art. They need somebody else to administer. They get like, I worked with too many musicians and writers and poets and people that I see, like somebody else needs to manage their shit for them. Excuse me. Sorry, Harry. But I wholeheartedly believe that an artist needs to be free to create and look at the world and interpret it however they are interpreting it, whatever format they are. And so they need to go to somebody and say, okay, I want this, these are the workshops you're going to do, and this is what you need to do. Not, they can create it, not have to worry about da 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 da. So that's the space I'm in, and I want to help in some kind of way.
That's a good space. I mean, but I think you are. I mean, in a very short period of time, you bounce back into New Haven, and your name is everywhere.
Like, oh,
as if you never left, right? Like,
yeah,
which I think is a testament to how people feel about your connection to the arts community, right? Like, I think people have a great deal of faith when you say, "I'm gonna go check this out." I think it gives permission for people to like, okay, that's cool. Ife's going to check it out, and she don't mess around with no mess, so this must be good, right? Like that's the stamp of approval.
Yeah, I've always got, and even I had friends in Brooklyn that were saying, you make Connecticut look real good. I never thought Connecticut had nothing going on, but they follow me on social media going like, there's always something happening. I want to come up there. Let's do this. Like, how can we come up there and do something? So a few of them were in, like Keisha Gay Anderson and JP Howard were coming up. And of course, my dear friend Abia Doon from The Last Poets, we're going to come up, are going to be part of the book fest.
Yeah.
And they're very well-known poets of their time. And this time.
Yes. And it'd be lovely to have them, right? Like it would be nice to have them.
So yeah, that's why also I want to develop this podcast thing to showcase all the art. Like I was so not overwhelmed, but gratified with the amount of people in New Haven that were artists. And then especially after Lauren and Dolores opened the bookstore and I was there, the book space, people get ready. And I was spending time in there, and it was like people left and right. People started coming. It was like, oh my goodness. We have so much talent here. We have so much literary talent. So many people writing books and telling their story.
Yes.
That young lady, Siobhan, we went to her thing at last spring in the at the gallery at Keller Liddell.
Oh, at the Keeler Liddell, right?
Yes. There were two artists there. The young lady we bought the t-shirts from, I can't remember her name, and then the one that was doing the poetry, Siobhan. Like people are like writing their own things. That, okay, I'm gonna rent a space and do it myself. Yes.
Yes, and not wait for somebody to discover that. But listen, this is my art and career, and I want to, I'm a tackle this.
Yes,
and it was well done.
It was very well done. It was very well done.
Okay, this is pretty cool. I felt like I was in Brooklyn. I mean, there is that, that very hip, cool vibe, right? Like, oh, this is really hip and cool. I'm glad I'm in the mix. So yeah, and I love that we have spaces like that in our town you could be as cool or as grassroots as you want to be, So
and on the flip side of that, to get our people back to reading, it's like picking up the actual book and reading it, and reading to our children. Like we have a whole generation of people that do, but focus, because I'm also on the board for literacy volunteers, because as well as being a literacy volunteer. And so reading and comprehension of reading is important.
Absolutely.
Right.
There's no better tool than to give a kid a book.
Right. And one of the testimonies to that is how busy the libraries were before this. Like a lot of people depended on our libraries for so many things. Like every library in New Haven was packed all the time, and all of them had different programming going on, but there was always something happening in the library. There was safe spaces for people.
Yes. I remember taking my kids to the libraries all over the city. I took them to every library in New Haven and Hamden, to the one or two libraries in Hamden, particularly the bigger one over there on Dixville Avenue. So yeah, I mean, libraries were becoming and are becoming cultural hubs.
Exactly.
Especially if you have a librarian that's on point. These spaces become cultural hubs and opening and welcoming and affirming. When I was a kid, libraries were great places, but they weren't like how they are now. I mean, you can do just about any damn thing in the library.
Listen, there were so many programs going on. You had to schedule library. Like I'm gonna be at the Stetson one day, the Miller one day, the Wilson the next. And Fairhaven with the bilingual stuff. It was like so much richness in the library system. And like you said, in Hamden had their stuff going on. So
for the state government,
and it's free
policy
and free,
or OPM.
And
OPM
people were free to present themselves and their artistry or their concept in those spaces. And that has to open up again. That's one of the things that also is missed, right? Because everybody isn't fortunate enough to have internet access. And it is a privilege to have that. Like you could say free Wi-Fi, but if nobody has a house to have a computer in, it ain't gonna do them no good. But they could go to the library and listen or see something or access a computer there. We got to have that back. Figure out how that space is going to how it's going to happen again. Gotta go.
Yes, and I love the way they tricked out the library downtown and put a cafe.
Oh my goodness,
that space is so right for that kind of thing. And having that beautiful terrace space,
that was perfect.
People
were always meeting there.
Yes, I'm looking forward to well, I don't know when we'll ever get out of this bubble we're in, but I tell you, I've been keeping a listy of all the things that I want to do that I have taken for granted prior to pre-COVID.
Yes, there is that. But it's also made me rethink about how much I need to be out of the house. Outside of social and cultural events, like how much do I really need to be out of the house? So yeah, I'm trying to figure out a way to work from home all the time.
Forever and ever and ever.
Because I got to pay bills.
Yes.
There's that.
I will tell you though, I do like leaving my house. I don't want to work out of my house. I want my house to be not a place where I do work.
That's what I should say, not work, because I have two spaces that are that I work for. I have two computers, so I had two spaces I got to work from. But it was nice when we were going to to the what is it
Co-
called?
co-working
The co-working
space.
space over on that Paul's co-working space. What is it called again?
The kitchen.
The kitchen.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to going
Me
over
too,
there.
Ife. I was all in, and then this happened because I was
Oh
like,
my
"This is."
God!
It's on a great street. It's in a great neighborhood. It's close enough downtown where I feel like when I'm downtown, but not so close where I gotta like be in the bustle hustle. I just love the space, right? And
Yes.
I was so looking forward to saying, you know what, this is where I'm gonna work from.
I was looking forward to it, and I look forward to it.
I still look forward to it
again, when it opens up again, because it shall, and we shall. And that's again a young person that wanted something to happen, and he just like, let me make this happen.
Right. Yes.
Examples of that.
So Paul Brian Hudson, we love the kitchen. We're gonna be back there cooking soon enough.
Gonna be over there cooking up a whole bunch of stuff and hosting.
Yes, that's such a great intimate space to host something, to host whatever we could think of, right?
Yes.
I love it. So, I'm looking forward to that kind of thinking. I mean, there's so many things that I want to do once we get post COVID, which I think we're in for a long haul with this thing.
We are, and it's just about how we rechannel our gathering time and how we get together. The protocols that are being placed, it may be limited as to how many people at a time. Who knows? I'm on the board for Collective Consciousness Theater. Holler at them too.
One of my favorite places.
And we just entered, we're at the announcement for Long Wharf season about the collaboration, right?
Yeah. And
looking forward to doing that. So what is that going to look like moving forward? In our intimate space that we have, we were in the process of looking for a better space anyway. But now that 55-seat house is like looking like real little right now. And how will that look on the other end of this? And when will we be able to have a season again, as other theaters are also looking to? Because everybody's not as fortunate as the Yale Rep to have an endowment, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm on the board of Long Wharf Theater, and I mean, having serious conversations about the future of the theater, and productions have had to halt, and these folks on this board care deeply about this theater, deeply about it, and that's a good sign when you have a board of this size that cares so deeply about the survival of this board, the survival of this theater.
Because it's more than about just the performance. It's about the set designers, the lighting designers, the props people, the house management, everything. All the things that people don't realize go into building a show. It's major.
Yes.
And they have all those responsibilities.
It's been a real education to sort of to sit, very intimately at that table and hearing and seeing and learning. It's been real interesting to sort of see. And, the leadership of Jacob Perdone, the Dexter and Jenny, all these people there's the new person over at Art Space, who just came on.
Right.
Sister, right.
I was looking forward to meeting her and seeing what's good going to be happening there.
Well, I'm in these conversations with them about the May Day celebration and how they're pushing it back. And, I'm going to be interviewing Sister Hudgens. And they're pushing that far back, which is fine because we don't, this virus is its own thing, right? It's just, it has so much control.
It has no control, no rhyme or reason, whatever.
I mean, the Arts and Ideas Festival, if they can pivot and go virtual, anybody can pivot and go virtual. I'm convinced.
Right. And I'm looking forward to some of it, because I always look forward to the idea stuff. I always want to be in the thinking. As much as I love performance things, the arts, the ideas events were always interesting.
Yes. Yes. So
and
I mean, so there's still things to look. There's still a lot of things to look forward to, just in a different sort of way.
Right. Right.
So.
It's nice to have the company of other people. So are we? I don't want to go over your time. I don't know.
No, we're about to wrap up now. You know, Harry will stick his head in and start playing the daggone music.
I appreciate this conversation this morning, Babz.
Oh, I'm so glad that you could come on. You know,
I hope I wasn't that boring. But art and culture is my thing.
I'm sure there's a lot of things that can be said about you, girl. Boring ain't nowhere in the universe. I don't think anybody would say Ife is boring. And if they are, listen, they are hella stupid.
Thank you, my sister friend.
I so appreciate you. You know, I love what you do, and I love being along for the ride, I'll tell you. So thank you.
And anybody out there listening, everybody stay safe and well, and pay attention. Wear your mask, wash your hands, do the things, man.
6 feet apart. You either 6 feet apart above ground, or you'll be 6 feet below ground. So
that's it.
Deal with that, people. Thank you so much, Ife.
Thank you, Babz. I appreciate you having me on.
I appreciate it. Enjoy your day. Harry, play us out, baby. Thank you.
Bye.
Keep spinning till the